Peter. All right, Kathy, I saved it. I went and recorded. Here we
Awesome.
go. Aisha, how are you? Back to you. How are you doing?
Learning a lot, taking action, and I'm going to be honest, I'm a little slower, but I'm just still moving.
You know what? Lungs are moving, right? Oh, that's
That's
cool.
good.
That's cool. So tell us a little bit about some of the stuff you've been going through.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Thanks for putting me on the spot. This is
Absolutely. That's
this
what
is
this is about. It's about
okay.
being comfortable, being uncomfortable.
Okay, yes, sir. So what it's looked like is prospecting and reaching out to people. So I don't know if I know I don't believe I've ever shared with you, but I had two things in contract, and I've been babying them and nurturing them. One fell out due to inspection. Seller wasn't willing to fix anything,
Were you working with the
and
buyer or the seller?
buyer for both of them.
Got it.
And
Okay.
that's something, because I have had a little bit of success in the past.
Uh-huh.
It's still kind of like, it's even though it's all still new, it's more of a comfort
Uh,
for me. The listings, I would like to get listings. I have some opportunities, but I know like I need some work on that.
I have a little bit of knowledge about how that works. And,
A
and,
lot of
and
knowledge.
I certainly can help you there. I know Coach Kathy can help you. We tag team our training, and we help people like yourself, agents that want to
Mhm.
reach out to more sellers, because sellers bring more sellers.
Mhm.
Sellers, meaning listings, bring more
Mhm.
buyers, bring more investors, and bring more agents. The agents that are actually working are the agents
Yes.
that are going to the open houses, showing proper, actively working with buyers. So the listing, I personally think, and Kathy, I'm sure will back me up on this, my personal opinion, work on getting your information out to more sellers. When you talk to more sellers,
Mhm.
everything else falls into place. But if we prospect for buyers, it's it,
Mm.
I like working with buyers that are going to be, there's also sellers. So if we're
Okay.
prospecting sellers, we're going to inevitably get the buyers, both the sellers that are become buyers for the next property, or the buyers that come to my open houses. Kathy will tell you she had 884 people to her open house. That is huge. And we'll share each
Yeah.
week the tools we do that. Kathy, what do you think?
Okay.
Well, when you get the listings, so when you're prospecting for buyers, you're either and you don't have your own listings, you're sitting other people's open houses, other agents' open houses. You're posting other agents' listings. So you're not building your two things. One, you're not building your reputation, you're building that other agent's reputation. And the buyers are coming. So when you're out there prospecting for your listings, you're building your reputation and the buyers are coming to your listings. You're holding your open houses, you're advertising your listings. So your name's getting out there. That's one thing, because our name is our brand. And you look in your marketplace and you know who the top producers are. You see them everywhere. You see them on social media. You see them, their open house signs. You see them everywhere. So you, by getting these listings, your signs are out there, your name's out there, you're building your reputation, and the buyers will come. And I know when you're brand new, they say go after buyers first because that's the fastest way to a paycheck, which is true. But while you're doing sending those open houses and posting those things, prioritize your daily activities for going after listings.
Amen.
And you don't need to spend a lot of money. I know it's expensive getting the expireds and all of that, but there are simple ways to go into your MLS, download the expires every day, and pay 12 cents or 8 cents, or get a tool like Lead Deck where you pay whatever you can. You put $20 in to the funnel and get 20 credits, and then you can skip trace. You can find out all the owner's information and all of that, and then plug them into Bold Trail and start campaigning on them, calling them, and all of that. There's workarounds where if you don't have that money to buy the engine right now, you're your own steam.
And I think, you know what, the easiest way, thank you for that, Kathy. The easiest way to grow your business, the cheapest way when you're first getting started, we don't have a big budget when we first started. I don't even care if you're a billionaire getting into this business, your real estate business hasn't got the momentum yet to build a budget because it should run on its own budget. My personal opinion, you jump into Zillow, you go to buy owner, and guess what? You put in your county and you call every single for sale by owner anywhere near your home within 100 miles. It's absolutely doesn't cost you a dime. And you really don't need to have any kind of skill other than, hi, my name is, I see that your home at 123 Main Street is for sale. Is it still available? Have a conversation. Tell me, why are you selling? Tell me about your home. Why are you an agent? You bet I am. I don't know about your home. I can't sell your home. So it's your turn because nobody knows it better than the seller. Please tell me about your home and shut it. Zip your mouth and just listen. Right? Good questions. Ask questions like, why are you selling? Where are you moving to? Find out the reason why they're selling. Because the last thing you want to work with is somebody that wants to sell. They want to price their home at $1 million and it's only worth 800, and they're only doing that just to see if they get an offer. We want to weed those folks out. There are a few of them out there, not a lot. We weed them out, but just have a simple conversation.
I had one yesterday, a for sale by owner that came into my system, and he started arguing back and forth with my AI assistant through ProEdge. And turns out he's an agent. His home's worth $650,000. He's got it listed on Zillow for 808.
Yep, that's what they do.
An agent,
a
realtor. That's his own property.
Yep.
It's crazy.
I've actually, Kathy, what's funny is there's a lot of agents putting their home on for sale by owner. I've listed last year 5 agent-owned properties. I mean, that's huge because when I introduced what I'm doing to help them sell their home, they said, well, wait a second. They were doing, these agents were doing FSBO because they didn't want to pay their brokers commissions and all that because they're agents brand new and all this stuff. And usually you think you get yours for free, but that's fine. We ended up showing them how we help sell our homes at the highest and best price. And we listed and sold 5 for sale by owners. Another thing, Kiana's on this call. She just started working with me about working with FSBO's expireds pre-foreclosure, how we use the scripts, how we find them with My Plus Leads. That's what I use is My Plus Leads. But if you don't have a budget, go to Zillow, free, call everyone, right? I call every FSBO. That's where I always start with FSBOs on Zillow. That's the first place I start. Then I go to My Plus Leads and I call my expireds. Then I go to my attorney network and I follow my attorney network for divorces and probate and bankruptcy.
Here's another tip that even if you don't want to go into lead deck or anything like that, True People Search. You can plug in the property. Well, you have access to the MLS and realist and title and all that. You can easily find the owner, go into True People Search, plug them in. They give you phone numbers and emails. They may not always be accurate, but it's free.
And I'm going to go ahead and finish my story about Kiana real quick.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. It's just important because I don't want to forget because I'm older and I will forget.
I'm older than you.
Kiana and I met this week. We started talking together about how to get the FSBOs, how to have a conversation, how to use the scripts, how to schedule the appointment. This was Monday. We met again Tuesday. We have 2 appointments today with FSBOs, one at 11:15, one at 2 o'clock. She just got into the real estate business, has never worked with a seller in her life other than working on the buyer side. So that's what I'm talking about. It's all you need to do. And maybe Kiana can get on and tell us a little bit about how she did it if she's wants to unmute herself, because I'd hate to put you on the spot, but that's what I do, right, Anisha? Aisha.
And I think that's actually great because you allow us to step up. So me, who is an observer and I like to listen, but it's like, no, you don't get to do that all the time.
Yeah, that's not what this call is. This call is mic off, camera on. Let's have some fun. Let's take a look under the hood. No one's judging. We're not judging. We're just saying, here's what works for us. Try it. You might like it. Success leaves clues, right? So you need to do the things that have worked for others, but you need to do it in your style, your pace, your thing. Some people absolutely can't stand talking on the phone because, oh my God, what if they ask me a real question? That's a real thing. But if you don't get on the phone with actual sellers, you don't have actual conversations. You have what ifs, and no good on what ifs. We want to know what they're really saying. How did I react to it? How would I have reacted it? Usually it's how would I have reacted, because oops, I shouldn't have said that. I got tongue tied. I messed up. Guess what? That's okay. You're failing forward.
Absolutely.
You're making the calls. And Kiana, are you available to talk? Or are you just jumping on and so I don't grind you later at your appointment?
Yeah, I'm here.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got these 2 seller appointments in such short a time?
I called first on the dialer, and I said the script verbatim, and they asked me, "Are you an agent?" I said yes, and they said that they are willing to pay the commission, and I said, okay, we'd like to know more about your home. Are you available for a Zoom link tomorrow at yeah. So it does work. It's all, I mean, I'm excited because I'm able to do a conversation at least. That's what with buyer, with a sorry seller. So before I tried door knocking, I tried before the cold calling, but expired and FISBO. But I mean, the right script, what is, I feel, make
Yeah.
it work. Yeah.
It opens the doors. Yeah.
Yeah,
When you,
open the door.
And the
Yeah.
big thing,
What it's the right script.
and the big thing
Yeah.
is just you've got to take it. You just got to do it.
Mhm.
Pick
Yes.
up the phone, have a conversation with somebody, be
Correct.
short, be sweet, be precise. Is it available? Are you compensating with an offer that makes sense for you? When can we meet? Because I don't know enough about your property. If I want to bring you offers, I need to know more about your home other than what's on Zillow. Schedule the appointment. Now she's going to see an actual presentation, a presentation, her and I and the seller on Zoom at 11:15. We'll meet at 11 because we're going to go over 15-minute pre-debrief. She's going to see exactly how I do my listing presentations in live time, handling live real objections. And then we'll debrief after we take the listing if it's a listing that qualifies for us to take. Meaning it's not a seller like Kathy talked about $1 million and it's worth 850 kind of thing.
Mhm.
These are sellers that we have one seller that she might be a little ambitious, but with the right explanation on what her true value is, she may have a come to Jesus moment and go, well, yeah, you know what? I do kind of feel that's right, but I was really hoping for more. Once they see the presentation, you can't unsee it. So I'm super excited for you. Kiana, thank you for sharing and how many sellers have you worked with up to this point?
No, none.
Never worked with a listing before ever.
And
in 1 week.
One Zillow lead was a Zillow lead. I did a listing presentation and I signed the listing, but we never went to the market for some reason. So that's the only experience.
You dipped your toes in the water, so that's good. So
exactly.
And we met a couple of times, and boom, we've got 2 listing appointments today. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Kathy, what would you like to add to that?
You know, you're not going to get better. I mean, you can role play, and last week I said you can role play with ChatGPT, but until you start just going out there and doing it, you're not going to get better because you're not going to get the actual conversation and actually what a seller is going to ask you. And yes, you're going to fail in the beginning. I still fail after 34 years. You know, my brain will go somewhere else and I'll forget what to say. You know, maybe that's age. I don't know. But I still do that. And also I know that when I haven't been out there prospecting for a time, because I've been out for the last 3 years, I haven't really been in production, but getting back into that grind, I'm fearful. I still get fearful. It's a human thing, but you know what? You got to push past it and you got to keep doing it. Keep doing it. Were any of you on Larry White's call this morning? What
He was
Joan
awesome,
said?
wasn't he? That was great.
Yes.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
And look where he came from. And all he said, I had no choice. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to make those calls, but I had to get up every single day. Otherwise, I was letting my family down.
Amen. What's your why?
Mhm.
What's your why and how big is it? If it's not big enough, make it bigger.
Yep. And that's what you have to do. I've been told early in my career, do it afraid.
Do it afraid, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. I love
Absolutely.
it.
That's the only way you stretch. That's the only way you grow. That's the only way you get better.
Yeah, that's good.
And then guess what, guys? The market will change, and then you have to learn to do something all over again.
You got to learn how to hit the curve.
Because I can tell you, in 1993 is not the same way you get business as you do in 2026. It wasn't the same way in 2008 when the
Yeah.
world came to an end. Actually, it started with me in 2006. But when the market crashed, throughout my whole career, I did not go without a closing at least once a month. And then 2006 hit, and I didn't have a closing for 6 months.
That was also a good time for me, but being an REO broker, we're averaging
Right.
385 active listings at a time. So there's that conversation that we need to probably
Right.
have. And Kathy, you've been seeing a lot of default stuff going on. A lot of
Yes.
short sales, a lot of that. Give us an update on what you're seeing in that space.
Well, in the last month, I read from Altos that foreclosures are up, filings are up in the last month 6%. There's 83,000 homes in foreclosure in the United States.
Big number.
Here in Riverside County, there are 2,000 homes in foreclosure. Every single one of those homeowners needs a real estate agent to help them. And I always start off by trying to help them save their home. 95% of them will not be able to stay in their home.
And Kathy, don't let me interrupt real quick, but real quick. Do you know why Kathy was saying, have you ever met a seller? Very rarely will you anyway, met a seller that said, I don't want to keep my home. I'm just going to let it go to foreclosure. Every single seller I've ever talked to that was in that situation wanted to keep their home. Why would a realtor who only gets paid when they close a transaction be calling people that their only goal is to keep their home? Exact opposite of what you can help them with. Is because we're coming from contribution. We're reaching out to them as the real estate expert. I feel it's my duty to reach out to homeowners that are in distress. Kathy and I have both been in that personally distressed world. And it's coming from contribution, having conversations with people that are in a real bad spot. They're in a blurry place. If we can reach out to them, have a conversation, to the ones that pop their head out of the sand, have a conversation, help them keep their home. Hallelujah. Talk about raving fans. They're going to share you with the world. But here's the problem. A very, very high percentage of those do not get to keep their home either, even if they want to. We've done everything we could to help them. Know your options, call your bank, get a loan mod, get whatever, get your stuff back together, get a deferment. There's a lot of options. But when those fail and you no longer can keep their home and they say, you know what, we better sell it before we lose it. Who do you think they're going to call when the time is right? I've had people call me, Kathy, that have family members in the real estate business, but they've called me, Robert, you helped us in a really tough spot. Can you help us sell our home? But isn't your mom or brother or sister or aunt in the business? Nobody showed the amount of knowledge and care that you have. And that's just not even a question. At least you're going to get invited to the conversation. Well,
here's the key is most real estate agents, they got commission breath. They want the sale. They want to list them. They want the listing. You can't go in there working with these people that way because it's because they want to keep their home. That's their mentality. And if you go in there saying, oh, well, I don't see how you're going to be able to keep this, we need to list it right away. No, it has to be their decision. You have to lead them down the path to get them to the point where they make that decision. I will never forget, in 2000, it was actually 2006. I was working for Titanium Solutions as a loss mitigation counselor. I got an assignment from the bank. I went, and it was in Riverside Estates. And I went to the door. This big, huge guy answers the door and he goes, "What do you want?" And I mean, he's towering over me. I'm 5'4". He's 6'4". Big dude. And I'm like, bank sent me here to help you. He invites me in. Mind you, they've lived in this house for 5 years. They bought it at $360,000. The backyard wasn't done. There was no furniture in the living room or dining room. He pulled out bar stools from the kitchen counter to bring into this vacant living room to sit face to face and have a conversation. There was no way he was selling his home at that point in time. He goes like this. He goes, "Well, I don't know if you believe this or not, but God is going to save my home." I went like this and I said, "Well, I don't know if you believe this or not, but God sent me to help you save your home." And for 4 months, I worked with them to go through loan mods and all of that. Their home was worth $1.2 million at that point. They had leveraged it to 1.4.
Ooh.
They pulled that much money out. They took trips, they bought cars, they bought clothes. It was that scenario.
And that's not isolated. That's a very common thing.
I will never forget. I'm driving from Menifee all the way up there to give them the bad news that they can't keep their home. And I'm praying, man, I'm praying all the way. What do I say to this guy? And I get there, we sit down, and I said, "Look, we have tried every way possible. You had the income, but you have leveraged this to the point where your income, even if they reduce the loan amount, you can't make the payment." And then the words came to me. God did not intend for us to be a slave to a house payment. It clicked. We put it on the market, sold for 1.2 million. That was my first sale in 6 months.
First short sale, sounds like.
It was a short sale.
Yep. And those are doable. Those are coming.
Yeah, they
those.
are.
Yeah, we're seeing those.
It was $200,000 short.
Mm-hmm. So get to know there's a lot of conversation in the default space. That's why I'll repeat, FSBOs, they have their hands up. That's who we should call first. If we don't call anyone today, call a FSBO.
That's right.
Call a FSBO. Just make a point to call one FSBO today. Go to Zillow, go to for sale by owner, click on your county, call the FSBO, call the most recent brand new FSBO. Tell me about your home and zip your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Have a conversation, try it. And then you start going, yep, go ahead.
And if you want to go in with cash offers and you don't have the platform, reach out to me or Robert. We'll partner with you and get you cash offers to walk in the door with.
Yep.
Last week, Smarty, he said it. You walk in the door with a seller, congratulations, your home is sold. And they're like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah. "Well, I got 6 offers here." You want to win the listing? That's how you win the listing.
Yep.
But if you don't have, again, I know that starting out, things are tight. Just come to Robert or I, and we'll work with you.
I'll put a link in the chat in regards to the cash offers, Kathy, for them.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm going to pull that up. Give me a second here. I'm going to pull it up. That is a great thing. I'm telling you guys, if you can go in there with a cash offer, do you think you have their attention? I mean, I'm telling you what, it's like, because isn't that what they all want? A FSBO expired. Most FSBOs, they really want to sell their home. There's a few out there that are just curious what their home is worth and want to talk to a bunch of agents. That's a real thing. I went into a FSBO appointment. This is when I was visiting homes. I haven't visited a seller since March of 2020. I do all of my listings via Zoom. I just got done traveling the country for 2.5 years in our RV. My wife, my dog, let's go. Taking listings all over the country. It was awesome. My point is, there are some sellers out there. I went into this for sale by owner. It was literally not too far from my house. It wasn't an inconvenience. It was fine. I went into the home. I did a little research, but not much. I went to the home, greeted the seller at the door. You could tell it's dated. This house was dated. He was an older gentleman. And I asked if his wife was here, and he goes, well, that's the reason why I put my home on the market. And I was thinking to myself, well, it's probably because she's maybe in her final years and he wants to maybe sell it so they can live their life. And no, that's not why. She's bedridden and he's bored. He told me this. I'm bored and I want to talk to agents about my home. I like talking to agents. I'm like, that doesn't happen all the time. But my point is, can you imagine every FSBO you called if you went out to their home and that's the response? So do a Zoom listing appointment. And Kiana's going to see that today. Do a Zoom listing appointment. It takes 3 to 5 minutes to have a conversation with a potential seller. Hello, Mr. Seller. Boom, boom, boom. You're insane. Have a nice day. There's nothing I can say to change that. And you're done. You didn't drive an hour in traffic. You didn't spend an hour seeing their new linoleum and how wonderful their home is and how it's so much better than everyone else's. That does happen. You did a 3 to 5 minute Zoom call and you had a conversation with a seller about their home. Why are you selling? How did you come up with your price? I know how to price properties, Kathy, don't we? We know how to price properties. We know that's kind of an important part of being a realtor, whether you're a buyer or seller agent, doesn't matter. You pull in comps, you know exactly what that home is worth. If somebody says they want $1 million for their home and it's worth 800, that's where the conversation starts and ends potentially. It starts with that price. If you guys can't come to agreement on price, meeting over, nothing you can do, no magic dust you can sprinkle over that home. It's the biggest waste of time. I see it happen all the time. Agents who don't have a pipeline will take a listing that's too high. And it drives them bananas. They're always making excuses why it's not selling. You're hoping for a price reduction or somebody that's just desperate to buy a home, that's a needle in a haystack. And a bad strategy, by the way.
And that's where when building your brand, you do not want a stale listing in a neighborhood. You don't want your name out there saying, oh, I can't sell this.
Yeah.
Because that's a bad reputation too.
Yeah.
So it all, with social media, people know.
Yep.
They can go onto Zillow and see that this home's been on the market for a year.
Don't take practice listings.
Yep. No. And if you're working with an unreasonable seller, not only that, you're wasting your energy, your time, and your money because they're going to expect you to advertise it.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get anything out of it. You're not going to, because buyers can see that this is overpriced. I'm not going to waste my time.
Oh, but Kathy, I'm going to have open house traffic. I'm going to have people, I have a listing. People think I'm listing. Yeah, I think it's important to do open houses like what Kathy's done and I've done. Rich has been a part of that. Having open houses that are substantial, people are showing up. So you have to have a game plan. So I think at the end of the day,
price rate.
My only thing I'd like to say, and I hope it sinks in, when you're finished with this call, literally the next thing you do is go to Zillow, call the for sale by owner in your market and have a conversation with them. Don't go scripted. Hi, my name is Aisha. Tell me about your home. I'm a realtor. Tell me about your home. And that's it. Have a fun conversation with the for sale by owner. Make sense? Kathy, do you have something to say?
No, Ted's asking me where to put the frying pan.
Hi, Ted.
Robert says hi. Ted. Robert says hi.
It's okay. But does that make sense, guys? Call a for sale by owner. Hi, my name is, I'm with EXP. I'm with XYZ. I'm a real estate broker. I'm a realtor. I'm whatever. Tell me about your home. That's it. And then they start asking you questions. Well, tell me about your buyer. Well, you know what? I don't have a buyer yet. I have a buyer database that I'd like to reach out to, but I need to know a little bit more about your home first. So please tell me the features and benefits. Why are you selling? Where are you moving to? How'd you come up with that price? Because if you pull the comps, you can go to Zillow and you can look down at the recently sold homes and kind of gauge if that property's priced correctly. Never take Zillow's estimate, or their Zestimates are horrible. I just listed a home. It was 910 Zestimate. I listed it knowing that this isn't going to sell for maybe 850, 825 to 850. That's what I felt in my heart. And the sellers agreed. Yeah, we agree. Even though it said 910 on the Zestimate. We listed it, our strategically priced below market pricing strategy. We drove the price up. As soon as we started that at that lower price, Zillow updated their estimate to match my listing price, which I knew was lower than what it's worth. But Zillow automatically went down to match what I listed it for. I marketed it. We had a great amount of property. We had 170 agent buyer groups, just with agents with buyers, so you can recruit and grow your business. It was an amazing open house. We ended up getting 13 offers, got $25,000 more than the seller thought she was going to get. But my point is, Zillow, as soon as I brought that price back up and I put it in pending at the price it actually sold for, guess what the Zestimate did? It followed my new price. So don't bet your life on the Zestimate, because I can tell you it's not accurate.
It's not based on solds. It's based on all data.
So they basically are mirroring what I brought it down to. Remember, right. I dropped it below market. It followed me. And as soon as I went pending, I put it in at the pending price and it followed me. But my point is, Zillow can be your friend too. So make sure you go in there, read all the information about that home, and then you already know everything you can about that home. Then call them and say, tell me about your home. Try it. Tell me what you think and report back. Kathy, anything to add on calling FSBOs?
Yeah, do a quick CMA before in the MLS before you get on the phone with them. It'll take you 2 minutes. You know, you don't have to analyze it like you're going to a listing appointment. You just want to know generically what the market around that neighborhood is doing and go a mile out. If you get too many, go half a mile out. The more information you have going into that call, the better confidence you'll have on that call.
Amen.
But don't spend hours analyzing it.
FSBOs are our friend.
Well, yeah.
Repeat after me. I love working with FSBOs.
I love working with FSBOs.
I love working with FSBOs. And you know what? FSBOs love working with me.
You know, I have to say, Robert, I hated FSBOs. I don't like them. Didn't like them until I met you. So,
dude, they're like telling everybody in the world, "Hey, I'm selling my house." Oh my God, who else are we? That's the first person we need to call. Then we need to call expireds, because guess what? They too have told the world that they were selling, but the only thing they're telling us is we want to sell, but we couldn't because we didn't pick the right agent. Now is your time to be that right agent. You know that 78% of expired sellers list with the first agent that calls them.
Mm-hmm.
Be that first agent. Call them. Tell me about your house. Why do you think it didn't sell?
I built my business from the beginning on expired.
Huh?
Yeah, I built my business from the beginning on expired.
FSBO expireds pre-foreclosure, guys. That's the lowest hanging fruit on the seller tree. If we're working with those people, then we have time to call our friends and family, because if you don't call your friends and family, someone else is going to. But that's not the first person we call. We call the guy with the hand up. If you're teaching a class, okay, any questions, please raise your hand. Meaning any sellers, if you're selling your home, please raise your hand. I'm going to call on the guy with his hand raised first. Does that make sense? And that's the FSBO. That's the expired. The pre-foreclosure is a different dynamic. They don't have their hand up. You know, matter of fact, they've tied their hands together so they can't raise their hand.
Yeah.
However, they need us. They just don't know it yet. And attorneys, you heard me talk to attorneys. I have an amazing attorney letter that I can share with you guys if you send me an email. And Kathy, do you have my attorney letter?
No, I do not.
Yeah, the lawyer letter, I call it. It's we got it from Career Compass.
Oh, I have that one.
It's time tested. and it works. If you can get a relationship with 10 attorneys,
Mhm.
sending you business, huh, that's like an REO account.
Right.
Attorneys send you multiple transactions per year. And because of our transparent offers platform, Kathy, you love this. Because of our transparent offers platform, attorneys love referring us because when you have a husband and wife, for example, that are getting a divorce, neither one of them trust each other. So if it's your agent, it needs to be fully transparent. The offers are transparent, so there's no behind the scene negotiating. It's all transparent. That's why attorneys love working with us. So
Yeah.
repeat after me. I love working with attorneys.
And
I
ILS
love-
rolled out their property pages this week.
Yeah.
What an amazing tool. Oh,
Yeah.
they're awesome.
Yeah. iList,
Awesome.
guys. iList is I'll put it in the chat box. iList is a tool that if you're not using it, it's for cash offers. It is absolutely amazing.
Not just cash offers anymore.
Well, that's what we were talking about earlier about cash offers.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Cash
put it
offers.
I'm going to
Yeah,
put it in the chat box.
cash offers, and now the property pages. You want to market your listings on steroids,
Mhm.
where somebody can go in and put an offer. You can make it transparent. You can let them know how many offers are on the property. You want to get buyers to compete on your listings because that's what we're supposed to do. And if an agent, if you're on the buyer agent side, and you go and ask a listing agent, well, what's your highest offer? And they tell you, I can't tell you that. That is a lie, because it's our fiduciary duty to let them know.
Unless the buyer or the seller
Seller
click
said
do not
don't.
show everybody. And that's why would any seller not want to display the competition to drive a higher price? That just makes no sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it makes absolutely no sense.
Buyers are inherently
So-
competitive. Remember that.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
I think we've had some good stuff. Kathy, anything else to add? I know, Rich, we didn't hear from you. Elon, we didn't hear from you. What's Rich? Let's do this, Kathy. Rich, what's going on in your world? I know you're prospecting. I know you're hitting your numbers. What do you got, brother? Are you driving? Can you talk real quick? What's going on? Go ahead and unmute yourself, Rich.
He's on the phone. He's calling agents.
You know what? That's okay. That's okay. Call agents. Elon, what do you got going on, brother? Inland Empire. What's happening? Is he calling the same agents? There you go. He's unmuted. What's going on with your business, Elon? What's happening? Well, you got the unmuted part done.
His mic's not working.
Okay. Kiana.
Yes.
Nana. Let me say that one more time so I don't mess it up.
Inanna?
Kinana. Okay, so I was right. Okay. What's going on in your business? What are you doing right now? You're prepping for your new listing appointments today? What do you got going on?
And I have a closing on Tuesday. So I'm doing the final walkthrough today.
Good.
It's a buyer in the property in Ontario. And I have showing on Sunday for a Zillow lead.
Nice. Excellent. Good. Good. Oh, one thing I forgot to tell you, because you started prospecting, make sure you're tracking and measuring your numbers. How many calls you made, how many contacts you made, meaning calls are attempts. Contacts are actual conversations. Leads, you have 2 because we're meeting them today.
Okay.
Then we'll be able to track listing appointments. That's what we have today. Then how many listings did you take? How many closings? So make sure I put that in your welcoming package, the goals and actuals. Make sure you're tracking and measuring your numbers.
Sure.
Because so you can go back to what's working and do FSBOs and expired separately. So you can see how many FSBOs to how many appointments, how many expireds to how many appointments, and you can see what's working better for you.
Okay.
If calling's better than texting, you need to know that too. I personally think calling's the best way to go. Just a conversation with people.
I think
If
so.
you can get him on the phone, if not, text him.
Yep.
Say, I'm trying to reach you
Yep.
about your home,
Yep.
and then call him right back.
It's amazing when for sale by owners don't answer their phone. But I get it. The reason why they don't answer, I've literally called them, hung up, called them back, left a voicemail, and then I text them immediately. And then right away they text me back. Yes, my home's still available. I'm like, how are you going to sell your home if you're
You're not answering.
not answering your phone? And I get it. They're getting their phone blown up by agents. I get it. So I personally like calling, and if they don't answer, we hang up. I call them right back, and then I leave a voicemail if they don't pick up. Because if they don't answer the second time, it means they're really not available. If I call them back the second time and they answer, they're avoiding my call. Maybe they're going, wait a second, maybe I better answer this.
For sure.
Then when I leave a voicemail, I leave it very quick. My name is Robert. I'm calling about your home at 123 Main Street. Can you please let me know if it's still available? Please call me back. Here's my number. Boom. Then I text them the same message. Is your home available? Please get back to me. And like Kathy said, I've been trying to get a hold of you. Get back to me. Then at the end of the day of prospecting, I always like to drop an email. And my emails, the only time I get a response from email is usually saying, please unsubscribe me. But it's one last way to reach out. Because I have had some people get that information and it prompted them to call me. Another thing,
sending the right message in your emails. My emails get open through Smarty system.
Yeah. No, that's huge.
I don't get unsubscribed.
If you ask the right questions, correct. But my point is, don't forget to use all the nets. Call, text, email, send smoke signals. Make sure they know about that you're around. So good. What else is going on
their door?
Well, that's the worst case, because I think that you want to be efficient. It's a numbers game. Yes. If it's a FSBO that's in your market, you certainly want to use that. Drop in, see the home, do that. Of course, that works. And I personally like to do those on the weekends because I think that it's important to have a system, an efficient and effective system. I want to get people done the technology way. And Kathy keeps talking about Smarty. That's a great way to go. And Kathy, you could certainly share your information, because I think if you're not using Smarty CRM, oh man, I'm getting set up with it right now, and I'm super excited by it.
Yeah. It's a great way to keep on in contact with these people. You just plug your leads in and it's on autopilot. The cool thing is you train your bots to have the initial conversations, and that you kind of are weeding out the way the system's set up, especially with expireds or for sale by owners, because the first text that goes out, it says, are you still accepting offers? Have you taken it off the market? And so on and so forth. Right. And they text back, we're still accepting offers. Great. And get on the phone call. Get on the phone and start talking to them.
Elon, you had a question.
You have a quick question. And what is your take on using social media for getting leads, i.e., whether it's Instagram or Facebook or YouTube? Because I've been pretty much trying to go in that direction as far as getting leads, because I know that you probably heard of Levi Lassick from Texas, and he has his monthly YouTube training. So what is your take on that
as far as getting leads through social media? I personally, and I'll say this about 1 billion times and probably 1 billion times more, I work with FSBOs, expireds, pre-foreclosure. I work with attorneys, builders, power partners, and my circle of influence. Social media is absolutely a part of that. Calling, texting, emailing, social media, smoke signals. But in terms of buying leads is what I'm understanding you're saying, buying ads and those kinds of things, getting leads from social media directly. Is that what you're talking about?
No, as far as, I'm not a proponent of paying for leads. As far as getting people to call you instead of you having to reach out to them.
So that is a long-term game. So if you have no business right now, none whatsoever, you're going to be waiting 2 and 3 years for somebody to call you. So what social media does, it complements you when you're putting value added posts out there. You're letting them know who you are. So it's 3 personal posts to 1 business post. And that's how you build your following. When you get in front of a buyer or seller, that's a new lead, either from an open house, Zillow, if you're getting Zillow Flex leads or anything like that, and they search for you online, then they're going to see your presence. But for them immediately to call you, that's not going to happen unless you're paying for ad spend.
And spending big money on social
And
media.
it's huge. And it's huge. And the thing with Facebook and Instagram, Meta, the way, because of fair housing for real estate ads, unless you're plugged into something like ZBuyer or Funnel Pilot or something like that, that is a system that's been tested over months to years, and it's constantly evolving. You're not going to be very successful for that.
And Funnel Pilot, Kathy, is a great way. If we can certainly get them some information on Funnel Pilot, but that's what I would recommend is they build all that stuff out for you.
Yeah, you know, something like that. Levi, he's huge because he's been doing it a long time and he's built his online presence over years. It just didn't happen overnight. And that's the thing, is if you are a new agent or you're a starving agent, you got to pick the lower fruit, the for sale by owners, the expireds, and you're going to have to reach out to them. That's the only way they're going to know who you are. They're not going to call you.
Hey, Kathy, you know what my wife tells me? She says, whatever you generate in your real estate production, that's what you can spend in your real estate business.
Right.
Because we're a corporation. We both pay ourselves a salary. And that's the money that we each make a paycheck every 2 weeks. That's when through our corporation. Any money that I need to spend on things like that, it needs to come from my real estate business and the marketing budget. Because there's so many things, there's so much noise. Buy this, buy that, buy this. If you notice a common theme with Kathy and I, doesn't cost me anything. Let's do that first. Go master that first. Because you know what? The FSBOs are there. That's free. Call them. Because most of the people don't call them. They go, oh, you know what? I'm going to call FSBOs today. But before I do that, I'm going to go walk the dog. Then I'm going to call FSBOs. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go make a sandwich. Oh, wait, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Okay, now I'm ready. Oh, wait, I got to do one more thing. Let me make this call real quick. We have the worst creative avoidance in the whole world. Every single agent, me included, we all have it. Identify it, put your prospecting on the calendar and go do it. Treat it like an appointment. You wouldn't blow off a seller. You wouldn't just say, oh, I didn't feel like meeting with you today on our scheduled time. Put it on your calendar and actually get it done. Make those FSBO calls, make those expired calls, make those pre-foreclosure calls, guys. I'm telling you, you're setting yourself up for awesome opportunity, but you're also positioning yourself for the REO market, which is certainly going to be here. Short sales, right?
Yeah.
Short sales, REO is going to be here. Get prepared.
They're already here. They're already here.
Well, they're here. They're peeking. They're dipping their toes in the water right now. It is not here like it's going to be.
No, it's not. And that, you know, and that's the thing is a lot of agents, what happened, I mean, learn from what happened in 2008.
Yeah.
So that market shifted in 2005. Guys, I was counseling homeowners in 2005. I started in July of 2005 going out there, and I was getting anywhere from 5 to 10 assignments a month at that point. It didn't really start to snowball until it got into the secondary market.
Oh.
And the thing is, learn it now, get plugged in, like Robert says, start doing BPOs if you want to get into the REO world.
Yeah.
Start doing that, even if you want to get into the short sale world, because those negotiators that are from the lenders, they're keeping track of agents who are doing what.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to go in and do short sales, one, you can hire somebody to do it, or you can learn how to do them yourself, which that's what I did. And I got relationships with the negotiators from Bank of America, from Wells Fargo, Countrywide at the time. I had the vice president's phone number in my phone for Countrywide before they went under. But those are the relationships. Those are the relationships you start building now. But if you have nothing in your pipeline, absolutely nothing. I just got back to work at the end of February. My pipeline, I have 16 sellers in my pipeline right now. I have no listings right now because I've been out for 3 years. So what do? My priority is to get on the phone every single day. My non-negotiable is 25 contacts a day.
Love it.
And if I don't do that, like this week, I feel like a failure. This week has been horrible. I didn't hit my goal. I didn't do it.
You know the best thing about that, Kathy?
Today's another day.
We've identified, we start today, we look back and go, hello, week that just was. Did I do
Exactly.
all the things I was supposed to? No. But what we've done is we caught it today. So Monday, guess what, guys? You still have a little bit of time left today. So start prospecting. But guess what? You get a chance to recalibrate and start fresh on Monday. I personally think that when you call buyers, sellers, and investors, weekends are fantastic.
They are. And I'll be working tomorrow because I have no listings. I have no signs in yards. I have one guy who says, oh, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. It was supposed to be Wednesday. Now it's at the end of the month. You can't rely on that. I can't rely on one listing. Oh, I'm getting a listing. I'm getting a listing. No, I don't have anything. I don't have anything that is signed on the dotted line. So I have nothing.
So here's the deal.
Two sellers. I have 2 sellers that raised their hands this morning, and I will be calling them in Smarty System, in Pro Edge.
So here's the deal.
Identified that they want to be called.
And I don't mean to cut you off, Kathy, because we're coming to the end. I think the biggest thing to remember is use it because most people, they don't reflect back on what they did good, what they did bad it's called New Year's resolutions. You know what those are, right? Every year we look back and go, what did I do this year? What did I do good? What did I do bad? Guess what? Look at every Friday, use it as your, what did I do this week that I can really be happy with? I'm really excited about. What did I do this week? I knew I should have done, but I didn't. Let's not make excuses, but let's look back and go, man, I'm a pretty good salesperson. I convinced myself not to prospect. Good job. Start back on Monday, put it on your calendar and do it without thinking. Force yourself to go to the gym. Force yourself to wake up at the times you should wake up. Force yourself to do the prospecting that we know we need to do. Force yourself to do the things we don't like to do. I guess what? The exercise before the big game is really important because it hurts if you just try to get right into the big game. You're not stretching. So I think at the end of the day, don't beat yourself up. Don't look back. Oh, I'm so mad at myself. I'm terrible. And let it bleed on into the rest of your week and the rest of your day, rest of your life. Get over it. I heard something really important today. I think it was on that call with Larry's guest.
Yeah.
Next.
Yep.
That was the one word he heard. He said, you don't get a listing. Next. Go to the next call. Let's go. Don't let that one call determine the rest of your day.
You said the right thing in that call. Okay. You say the wrong thing in that call. The next call, you'll say the right thing.
Next. Get over it. Brush yourself off. Get your ass up off the ground. Let's go.
And as women, it took me a long time to learn that because we get emotional. Men don't. Women do.
I don't.
We got to get over it quick.
I just don't. My wife's always getting on me for not being kind. I'm like, I don't care. Move on.
And
boom,
that's
bullets.
the thing.
Bam, bam.
That's the thing. We get too attached to the outcome and we got to stop doing that.
That's not a woman thing only, Kathy.
Okay.
We all
Thanks,
can
Rich.
get too attached to the outcome. And that's the real bad thing is that we get too attached to the outcome.
You know what? It's easy to get attached to the outcome if you don't have anything. But if you have listings, it's easier to just go
Not good.
next. Why do you think people take so many overpriced listings? Because they're attached to the outcome. They take a listing that's too high because they don't have a listing to deal with first. If you take overpriced listings, you will have no other listings. Take listings that sell, keep that momentum going. And I'll tell you what, Tim Yates, it's good to see you, my friend. I'm glad to see you're back among the living. Good job. Good job. Way to go. So let's do this. Let's I'm going to finish with you, Kathy, if you don't mind, but I want to go to Rich. Rich, what would you like to say before we close? What's on your mind? What do you got?
Sorry, I missed you later. I was doing three things all at once, and I had to turn you off, and I didn't want to disturb the meeting. So
You're fine,
I
brother.
couldn't get
What
back.
would you like
I heard
to add
you
before we
calling me,
close?
but I couldn't get back. So, yeah, you know what? Just next. I'm getting better every day at next, and a couple of things I just thought about. One of the most freeing things that happened in my career was the time when I told the buyer to get out of my car. I wasn't a taxi cab driver. And if you want to, if you want to go forward in your business, that's one of the things you had to do. I was working with a buyer. It became real clear that she wasn't a reasonable buyer, and I just took her back to her car. Didn't say anything. Took her back to her car, and she asked me, "What are we doing here?" And I said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, but I can't afford to have you waste my time. You're a real nice person, but I don't want to work with you. Goodbye."
That's hard to say, isn't it?
Oh, it's
So
hard,
hard.
but boy, is it freeing.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
feels good.
And it helps you put in perspective what it is that you really need to do to become successful in this business.
We all have the same amount of time. We got to use it wisely, guys. Rich, thank you, so much for sharing. How's your prospecting going?
It's getting better. You're going to find out real soon. I've got 5 phone calls we got to make in the next 4 days.
Amen, brother. Well, I
In the
appreciate you
next
being
4
on.
business days.
I appreciate Rich and I work a lot with sellers. We Kiana, I don't know if you got a chance to hear this part, but she just started with our program and has never worked with a seller before other than a Zillow lead, and has 2 FSBO appointments today, one at 11:15, one at 2. I feel very good and I'm very excited for you. That's a great first week.
Yeah, thank you.
Kiana, what would you like to
That's
say before
phenomenal.
we move on?
I'm very grateful that I met you, and I'm very excited to start because since I started state, I love to work with seller. I tried many routes, and none of them works for me. I'm very excited to start.
Good. Well, we're glad to have you aboard.
Yeah.
Tim Yates, do you want to say anything to the team before we move on?
I'm trying to save my voice, my friend.
Do it. No,
So,
that's okay.
it's all
Do
good.
you? Well, Tim Yates, I'm telling you, Tim has a great program, and we'll have him on from time to time. He'll come in and share what he's got going on in the legacy estate planning and legacy the side of the real estate business, and got some great stuff. Tim, thanks for always being on. Aisha, what would you like to say before we end this call today?
Blessed, just blessed.
I love it.
Blessed to be in this great company.
Oh my gosh, that is great. That, you've got an infectious attitude. My mom told me a long time ago when I first got in this business, she says, "Hun, attitudes are contagious. Is yours worth catching?" Your attitude's worth catching, Aisha. Thanks for being on. Kathy, what would you like to say before we get back to work today?
Just, just keep doing what you're doing. Do it afraid. Do it when you don't want to do it. Stick to your schedule and, set your goals and make them non-negotiable.
Wow, you can't beat that. I love it. I love it. Well, you know what, guys, I appreciate you jumping on every Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Morenowlistings.com. Jump on here. Don't need to register. Come here. Just to let you know, the people that have their video screen are the people we're talking to. If you don't have it on, we get it. We understand. No problem. Jump on here, be a part of it, or just listen to it. Either way, we want to be a resource for you. So this is a place that we need to stretch. We need to build. We need to grow, but we want to make sure we're always there for you. So with that being said, thanks for jumping on to today's Friday call. And I always like to stop by saying, we'll see you in escrow.